Senator, I know where you stand on this issue. You were very much on the side of the industry, believing that the internet issue has to be addressed. I know you couldn't lobby because there's a 2-year limit. You just left the Senate. But where did this whole issue fall apart? Why was the, were Google and Facebook and industries such as our own owner, Comcast, and others, Time Warner and the like, why were they able to, why were the internet companies able to run circles around the more traditional movie and television companies?
Well, I think a lot of misinformation, Andrea, had a lot to do with the decision. Well, I think Harry Reid made the right call. And by the way, it was a bipartisan bill in the Senate as well as in the House. But they made the right call. And so the question is now, where do we go from here? And I think as long as people were thinking about these were very affluent people within the Hollywood community that were on the one side and the internet on the other, it was far more complicated than that. Even on the entertainment side, 98% of the people who lose their jobs when content is stolen, when films and television program are stolen, are people making on average about $55,000 a year. These are not the people who walk on a red carpet on Oscar night, probably the ones who lay down that red carpet or behind those lights and cameras. They're the ones whose jobs are at risk. But I don't think that was well understood by an awful lot of people. I think had it been, or the people understood that the counterfeit products that were being marketed on illegal websites around the world affected medicines as well as defense products, you might have had a different outcome. But the point is here, I think we need to take a step back now. Obviously, this was a loss. There's no way else to describe that. But the problem doesn't go away. And here's the good news. Even the most severe critics of this bill believe that there's a legitimacy to the issue of foreign criminals stealing American jobs and products. And so my hope is that in these coming days, that community within the internet community, the technology community, and those whose products and jobs are being jeopardized can come together. I've been an advocate of that since I took this job 9 months ago, that you can't have people making choices between content on one hand and technology on the other. These two communities need each other, in my view. Technology needs good content, and content wants technology to make their content available to people where they want to see it, when they want to see it. So I'm more optimistic that maybe we can come up with a better answer to this in the coming weeks and months, because I believe, again, most people don't want to see hardworking Americans lose their jobs to foreign criminals. 14 years ago, we passed a law that allowed us to go after domestic thieves of product online. That law has been very successful. All we're trying to do here now is to go after those criminals who've gone offshore and shut them down.
But, Senator, how do you do it, briefly, without leading to censorship of the internet, which you now have learned is a non-starter as far as the powerful force and the force for good that the internet has been, and the force for productivity and economic growth? Well, they've been
freedom
terrific.
Of
expression on all the other issues.
Yeah, and wonderful. And 14 years ago, when the so-called Domestic Millennium Copyright Act was passed, many of those same fears were raised at the time. That bill is 14 years old. Last year alone, shut down almost 300 illegal sites that were stealing jobs and content in the country. The internet never broke down. Freedom of speech has never been the issue. Illegal conduct is not protected by the First Amendment. If you plagiarize on the internet, it's against the law. If you slander someone on the internet, it's against the law. And if you steal product on the internet, that too is against the law. And so the internet is a marvelous engine of opportunity and growth. But we also need to respect the jobs and the content that people are producing through copyright and through intellectual property. And it isn't just the entertainment community. It's across the spectrum here. There are people who are producing products like shoes and pocketbooks, if you will, but also defense products, pharmaceutical products. Many of those products are being stolen on illegal websites well beyond the shores of the United States. So this ought not to be a choice about freedom of expression. That never has been the issue.